We have ourselves an update on the Neve Campbell situation, as well as a bit of a theory on old Mindy Meeks. Let's get into it.
Well, sometimes that is better.
Hey everybody, what's up? KillJoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today we're talking a little bit about Scream 6, giving you a bit of an update on the old Neve Campbell situation. What the heck is going on with old Neve? What, is she going to be in this movie? Is she not? Well, she talks about it a little more, which really solidifies my personal theory, as well as a very cryptic video we got over on Jasmine Savoy Brown's Instagram page. Now, before we get into all of that, I'm going to need y'all to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. And also, before we begin, I just wanted to say it's National Traffic Cone Day, which is why I am dressed up in celebratory orange. Now, in a brand new interview over on Forbes, we have Jeff Conway, an interviewer over there who's writing this article, talking a little bit about Neve Campbell. Now, in this interview, Jeff brings up a quote from Neve Campbell that she gave to Entertainment Tonight, talking a little bit about the Scream 6 situation, which she then commented on a little further. Earlier this month, when Campbell spoke with Entertainment Tonight, she specifically said, "My feeling truly is, had I been a man in this franchise, 25 years, 5 movies, the offer would have been very different." After bringing up this quote once again, Neve Campbell kind of went a little deeper into that, saying this specifically: "I think we need to stand up and, like I have on this project, just say it's not good enough, and maybe that'll change in the future. Life is interesting because as soon as I turned that down, this came along, Avalon came along, a very respectful offer and made me feel good. I think sometimes you got to empty your cup to fill it, and you have to say no to things that don't feel right or don't feel respectful. I think we all just have to continue valuing ourselves, acknowledging what our value is, and demanding it." And my God, everything that comes out of her mouth just makes me so happy. She is so wonderful, and I just highly respect this woman so much. Now, obviously, I totally agree with Neve Campbell. The situation sucks. She shouldn't take an offer that's lower than what she thinks she's worth, obviously. And now she's getting offers like this new Avalon thing that she's attached to, where it's like, yes, she's totally getting her worth from that, and that's great. I'm so happy for her, and I'm just glad our Sydney Prescott is off doing other things and being successful at it. I'm gonna miss her in Scream 6 a lot, but I am happy that she is finding these other offers and finding more work opposed to the Scream franchise, her flagship franchise that kind of betrayed her here. Now, I do want to make something very clear, because I see a lot of people taking this quote specifically out of context already. This is a brand new article that just came out today. I already see people saying like, "Oh man, radio silence fucking sucks," and all this. Just to clarify this, and I'm so sorry if this is getting tedious, if you're hearing this for like the 3rd or 5th time, Radio Silence has absolutely no control over the money. They are just the directors on this project, and I promise you they had nothing to do with this Neve Campbell situation. They were just as shocked as we were about this, but obviously this whole Neve Campbell situation sucks, and I totally agree with her. I do think if she was a man in this franchise that had been running for 25 years for 5 movies, the situation would be totally different. If you want to see me speculate, though, on if Neve Campbell will come back for Scream 7, I do a whole video about it up here. One last comment on this situation, too. I just want to say that, yes, she does say that she didn't feel respected. She didn't feel like this project was giving her her worth. I once again want to reiterate that I don't feel like that's a reflection of the script or the people involved. She even starts this interview praising Radio Silence and all the people she got to work with on Scream 2022. I really think this is just a comment on the producers and the people who are behind the scenes at the studio. I really don't think that this is a comment on the writers, James Vanderbilt, Kevin Williamson, Guy Busick, Radio Silence, any of the people involved in this movie, acting-wise or creative-wise. This is 100% a studio issue, so please don't blame Radio Silence. They are wonderful people. I have heard just nothing but positive things about them, and I'm sure they're great people in real life. You gotta know your stuff before you voice your opinion. Now, getting into some theory talk. Obviously, Scream just wrapped this past Friday on August 26th. They might be doing some reshoots here in the future, but basically the majority of filming has just concluded. Jasmine Savoy Brown posted on her Instagram story this video of her ripping off like a Mindy tag from her chair, and I'm assuming that this is just her, you know, taking her little Mindy thing, taking it home with her, a little memorabilia. Nice. Some people have speculated online that maybe Mindy Meeks doesn't make it through the movie, and this is kind of symbolic towards that. Now, I feel like there might be a few missed opportunities here if they were to kill off Mindy in this new movie. She is clearly going to have some kind of very interesting relationship with Kirby's character, which I just cannot wait to see what the conversation between them is going to be, talking about horror movies. I just feel like if you killed her off a little too soon, that would just be a massive missed opportunity. Having 2 Randy characters in the same movie kind of fight for the spot would be a really nice little bout of meta humor that would be a missed opportunity otherwise, I think. I don't know how else to paint paint that portrait. Like, Mindy is young and fiery and thinks she knows everything, but Kirby's a little old and wiser and probably does know more than she does about horror movies. And like, that conversation I can imagine would just be so interesting to me. So like, I really hope they have at least one scene where the two are just going back and forth about horror films. Because my God, they gotta get the meta humor right in these new movies or I'm gonna start biting heads off. And I also feel like Chad is more likely to go in this new movie than Mindy. He's less versed in horror movies to what we've experienced already from his character in Scream 2022. It seems like he's much more of a jock. He's leaning much more towards that, where Mindy is much more the horror film fanatic. And in no way am I saying I don't like Chad, because I do really like him. But unfortunately, out of all the characters that survived in the last film, especially from the core four, he's the one that I feel like is the least developed. He is a character that I feel like is much more expendable than the rest of the group. Sam is clearly the focus here, our new leading lady. It would be like killing Sidney Prescott off at this point. I know I'm gonna get a comment about that, but that's just the truth. She's the focal point of these new movies. They're not gonna kill Sam in this new movie. Jenna Ortega, who is a massive rising star, portrays Tara, which in my opinion is enough not to kill her in this film. Considering that it's rumored that a 7th film is already potentially in the works, I don't think that they'll kill Jenna Ortega off in this movie simply for that, but she also has a lot of character things going on as well. She might have been bedridden that entire last movie for the most part, but she did have a lot of things going on in the background that we can explore in this new movie for sure. And Mindy, like I already explained, has a lot of potential to do some interesting things in this movie. She's a more developed character than Chad. She has a lot more things going on. She's kind of the Randy right now, and for her to go against Kirby like that, to have that back and forth, is just, you can't miss out on that. Chad, on the other hand, is a very funny jock. It portrayed wonderfully by Mason Gooding, by the way. I do love his character, but out of all four of the core four, he's the one character that I feel like is the least developed. And if they don't overdevelop his character in this new movie, he's not really a focal point. I guarantee you at some point in the runtime, he's not going to make it. Now, the other end of that is they could develop his character into someone who's just this really wonderful guy, and he's just like, oh, I like Chad even more now that I know more about him, and then kill him, because wow, that would be way more upsetting. And the only thing better than a gruesome death in a horror film is the gruesome death of a lovable character, because it hits so much harder, and that emotion is what I'm looking for in horror movies. Now, am I saying Mindy is safe in this movie for that reason? Are they only going to kill one core four character? Absolutely not. Nobody, I don't think anybody is safe in Scream 6. Personally, I see a lot of people talking about how it would be disrespectful to kill like Kirby, for instance. I really strongly disagree with that. Nobody is safe in this new movie for sure. But for Scream 7, I think it would be really interesting if you keep at least one of the Meeks Martin twins alive to kind of deal with it emotionally in the next film. And obviously I haven't seen 6 yet, so I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but just based off of the little character development we got in the last movie, I'm just leaning a lot more towards Mindy's character to be the one to deal with that. She's gonna go through this arc of like being really fiery and explosive and not giving a shit and all that, and then suddenly her brother dies. What does that do to her character? How does that change her? That could be a really interesting thing to explore in the 7th film if that were to happen in Scream 6. Personally, I'd be way more interested in seeing that than to see both of them alive or both of them dead and not continue the story at all. So what do you guys think about all this? The Neve Campbell situation? Is Mindy going to die in this new film? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Any theories you might have about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this brand new Scream 6 update video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, do all that stuff that helps this page out, because wow, it means a whole lot to this big old traffic cone here. If you want to support this channel even further, you can support me on Patreon or become a channel member by clicking that join button on my front page. Thank you guys so much for watching this video again, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.